You're such an asshole.
How you guys doing? Old Capmeister here. And, did you get the payment? Did you get... Yeah, guys, I got the payment. You don't have to ask me. I got the payment. I don't work weekends. It's part of enjoying the climb. It's carving out a little bit of time for yourself. I did get my heart rate lowered down to 57 beats a minute through some amazing cardiovascular hiking, although I have not really hit the gym as much as I ought to. But damn, do I enjoy hiking and golfing. You guys should try to have fun sometime. All right, hey, Cappy. Could you do a Clarey test on Frederich Nietzsche? I will say that I fail to understand the point of philosophers. Boy, that's, I'm glad you sent that because, yeah, I don't understand philosophy as a defined study either. Everyone, oh, you're quite the philosopher. It's like, no, I just think. And then I try to find the truth. That's it. That's all philosophy is. And the really good, quote, philosophers are just people who have the balls to not give flying fuck about your feelings or society's feelings, what society wants to say, and they just tell you the straight dope as it is. And like, oh my God, you're Jordan Peterson, make your bed, holy shit. And, you know, you may say, oh, Jordan Peterson's a great philosopher. It's like, no, I mean, he's a very brilliant and intelligent man. He just has the balls to speak the truth and defends it very articulately. That's it. That's all really, I guess that's all it really takes to be an economist. That's all it takes to be a philosopher. And it's like, no, you're lying. No, big is not beautiful. No, oh, how deep. It's like, no, there's no philosophy. Who are you, Socrates? Are you more Platoan? Or so, Nietzsche, is he the one who's on nihilism? You can look him up. What's really funny is when they make it sound like the parasites are deep philosophers. Marx was such a... No, he was a parasite and came up with bullshit and lies so you could go sit on your ass and go live off of other people. That's it. That's all Das Kapital was. All right. Oh, yeah, I remember Friedrich Nietzsche because he looks a lot like Matt Forney. If Matt Forney had a big-ass bushy mustache, he'd look like Friedrich Nietzsche. All right. Friedrich Wilhelm, yeah. Nietzsche, 1844, 1900. God, he died at 45. He was a German philosopher, cultural critic, composer, poet, philologist, and Latin and Greek scholar whose work has exerted a profound influence on Western philosophy and modern intellectual history. He began his career as a classical philologist before turning to philosophy. He became the youngest ever to hold a chair at the classical philology. God, okay, all right. What's philology? Why? I just gotta find, where is it? Philology. Classics or classical studies is a study of classical antiquities. It encompasses the Greco-Roman languages. All right. So what? That's why I don't like philosophy. He read the classics, but did he think? Did he look at data? Hey, this data makes sense. No one does it. It's telling us something else. I mean, wouldn't philosophy pretty much be replaced by the scientific method? It's not a field. It isn't. It's like, do you think? Yes. Okay. Nietzsche resigned in 1879 due to health problems that plagued him for most of his life. He completed much of his core writing in the following decade. In 1889, at age 44, he suffered a collapse and afterwards a complete loss of his mental faculties. He lived his remaining years in care of his mother until her death in 1897, and then with his sister Elizabeth Forster Nietzsche. Nietzsche died in 1902. Put a bullet in your headband by that time. Has touched on a wide array of topics including art, philosophy, history and religion, tragedy, culture, and science, spans polemics, poetry, cultural criticism, inspiration from Schopenhauer, Wagner, Wolfgang von Goethe, boop, PDP. Oh, that's right. He was about the Uberman. I do remember reading some of it, and some of it is very good. It's basically, hey, what if you're super intelligent and everybody around you a fucking moron? Is the master-slave mentality and morality. He definitely hated communists. He was 100 spot on that. So I haven't read all of his works. Don't know he said to kill the Jews. Okay, that's where I would disagree with him if he said that. I'm just saying what podcast I did listen to this guy. He was dead on about the normies, conformies, and inferiors. Maybe I'll write that as a book. Then it'll be the opposite of Curse of the High IQ, which was for smart people, It'll be called Normies, Conformies, and Inferiors, and I'll just rip apart these stupid and conformist people. Concepts of Ubermensch, Eternal Return, Curator, manuscripts. Alright, let's go to youth. I'm going to assume he came from wealth. Grew up in a small town of Rocken, near Leipzig. He was named after King Friedrich Wilhelm of Prussia. Nietzsche's parent, a Lutheran pastor and former teacher, Franziska Nietzsche, married before their sons were relative to 2 children. Okay, so, wow, what a preacher's kid. What a shock. He fled then. Nietzsche's father died from a brain ailment in 1849. Ludwig Joseph died 6 months later at the age of 2. Lived with maternal grandmother and his father's 2 unmarried sisters. After the death of Nietzsche's grandmother, family moved their own house. Okay, so he didn't come from wealth. He went to college, but that was so long ago that you could not say it was a worthless degree, because any degree back then was a good degree. Even though I still think philosophy is a pointless discipline to study, you should just do it. Akin to creative writing. Okay, when was he born? We're going to have to do some math here. 44. Graduated at 20, commenced studies in theology and classical philology of the University of Bonn in hopes of becoming a minister. For a short time, he and Juice became members of the Burschenschaft Franconia, teaching Christianity, argument that people created God, not the other way around. In 1865, at the age of 20, said he lost his faith. 65, thoroughly studied the works of Schopenhauer. 1860, I'm just trying to find a professor at Basel. So he was a professor until he started being a writer. That's not a real job. Point against him. Oh, I take it back. Nietzsche served the Prussian forces during the Franco-Prussian War as a medical orderly. In a short time in the military, experienced much and witnessed the traumatic effects of battle. He also contracted diphtheria and dysentery. Speculates that he might have also contracted syphilis at a brothel along with his other infections at this time. I returned to Basel in 1870, observed establishment, blah, blah, blah. Alright, he does have real-world working experience. He was drafted. He's just an academic, independent philosopher. Taking huge dosages of opium. He gets a score of what? What did he do? He was a professor until he was dead. Point against him. I don't know if that 1 year stint really gets him a point off. I'm going to give him a 2. I'm going to give him a 2. I'm not saying the man wasn't brilliant, but he, you know, I did this little thing in the war because everybody was in the war, and oh, now I'm going to go back to being a professor again. Writing is kind of a real job, I guess, if you want to. Yeah. Mental breakdown. I think they speculate the syphilis got to him. Didn't come from wealth. I'm going to give him half real-world working experience, so he gets half a point there. Never really... what did he do? He was a professor until he died. He gets a point against that. That's you know, academic isn't a thing. So he gets a point and a half. Would I have liked to have a beer with him? Yes. Should he have ran for office? I know. Even though I agree with him on many political issues, if not his core political issues, you just can't. You got to hang out with the people. Like, you Democrats, if you look at the current slot of Democrat candidates for 2020 for your president, they're all trust fund babies. None of them work a damn real job in their lives. These are soft pussy soy boys you guys got running for 2020 for the Democrat Party. None of those people should be running. You should get a blue-collar Democrat who actually worked a real job, that guy or gal would win for sure. Or they're too stupid. I don't even. Are there any blue-collar Democrats? Or is that filthy now? You're all just academics. You're all just intellectuals who work at institutions at Harvard and Washington D.C. We just think so much. We're just such great philosophers. We're such great philosophers. No, he shouldn't run for office. Dude didn't have enough real-world working experience. What can I say? All right, that's it. All right, questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Check out all the links down below. Really cool shit down there. Can leave the podcast. You want to do some shopping right now, you can click on the Amazon banner. Do you have something to buy right now? Go buy it. Through the Amazon thing, just click on the link. Go buy. I get commish. And all that other stuff. Babbity-bobbity-bobbity-boo. Links down below. Make your night really cool tonight by exploring those links. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.